Is laughing an important part of your daily life? Research shows that children laugh approximately 120 times a day. How often do you think we as adults laugh every day? We laugh about 20 times. I love to laugh. Therefore, I try to find humor with the friends I make. I try to find humor in even some of the most challenging situations. I studied with Mary Morrissey, the founder of Brave Thinking Masters, because it's a family operation with 3 very funny sons. Her daughter's also involved, but Jennifer's not nearly as funny as her sons. Sorry, Jennifer. They use humor to teach us personal and transformation skills. Matt Boggs had this dream and this goal to be on his college football team. He made a video of it. It's a true story. It's called Kamikaze. I'm not going to give you the spoiler alert, but the essence of him trying out for college football is that the first time he tried out, his coach basically called him a runt. Instead of that being rejection, as most of us would take, Matt decided he would take that rejection and spend his summer going to the gym, bulking up, running in order to improve his agility. Of course, the gym is for his strength. When he returned that August to school and tried out again, he did make the team. He made the team as a bench warmer, he says. Regardless, watching this video by John, good grief, by Matt, or her other two sons, watch this video because you will laugh and you'll understand the lesson in this is don't listen to people when they tell you you can't. You don't have experience. Listen and watch this video to understand how we can transform our lives from rejection to reaching a big goal. Our other son, Rich Boggs, is an allegorical lesson. And with this lesson, I am particularly fond of Rich Boggs' allegorical lesson because he's a pirate. He goes into character as a pirate in the 1700s. I am a very good sailor. I love to sail and I like pirates. Therefore, his lesson brings home to me everything I learned about sailing. In the allegory, he wants us to forget our shame. He wants us to learn to forgive others, and to forgive ourselves in order to get out of the doldrums. The allegory is that he pillaged and he stole ships. He's a pirate back in the 1700s. In order to get out of the doldrums, and the doldrums when you're a sailor is when you're in an ocean and you have no wind. You can't move forward, you can't move sideways, you can't even go backwards. There are no motors back then. The doldrums is what we have as adults that won't allow us to move forward in our lives. Think of it as the doldrums are going to be that small inner voice that's telling you, you should be ashamed of your past. You should be ashamed of the things that people will never forgive you for, and you can't forgive yourself for, and you got to forgive others for in order to get out of the doldrums. Jack is in the middle of this ocean and he's caught in the doldrums, but this small inner voice comes to him and says, Jack, you've got wind. Move. you can start sailing. And Jack's like, no, there's this huge storm ahead. I'm scared. I can't. And the small inner voice starts pushing him forward and pushing him forward. And now he's moving and he's going through a huge storm, because that's what personal transformation is about. It's painful sometimes. And he's going through this huge storm, and he says to the small inner voice, are you sure you want me to stay this course? And the voice goes, yes, Jack, yes, because you're going to reach your dream. Jack's dream was to live on an island with pink sands and have his own ship. He was tired of pillaging and stealing other people's ships. As he's going through this course, and the waves are slamming against his ship, and the bow is dipping into the water because the wind is ferocious. He comes out of this storm, and anyone who has sailed knows when you come out of a storm, it's blue skies. It's gentle wind. You're moving at a beautiful course. And he sees in the horizon, could it be pink sands, he says. And then he sees a ship, and he comes, and the ship has his name on it, Pink Sands. He's always wanted this. It's his ship. It's his island with pink sands. And the small inner voice says, stay the course, Jack. Do it afraid. That's why I love studying with Mary Morrissey, because both of those stories are hilarious, and they teach us through humor very important lessons in personal transformation. For Kundalini Yoga, I am a big proponent of our children learning yoga, especially Kundalini Yoga, because Kundalini Yoga teaches us self-awareness. It teaches our kids strength, self-confidence, mind-body connection. It is so important during the pandemic for your children to learn how to become self-confident, self-aware, have inner strength. This pandemic is causing trauma for them. I don't even have children, and I know this and I see this. On the podcast, on the YouTube channel, you'll see I have virtual classes listed from specific Kundalini Yoga teachers who teach children how to have fun, how to be silly, how to be children. At the same time, they teach them an anger breath, because once they control their temper tantrums, you won't have to put them in timeout. Sit them down and let them learn virtual Kundalini Yoga. Lastly, women in wine. I wanted to talk about French women in wine, of course, because I'm a Francophile. One of the women I admire the most is Chantal Michel Tortochot. She is an amazing producer in Gevrey-Chambertin. These are all women who produce wines in Burgundy. Domaine Tortochot has been around for decades. She started with her father in the 90s, and I will share with you, Tortochot is no spring chicken. She's probably in her late 60s now, early 70s, but she makes wines, which I sold in New York, that will make you say, ay caramba. They are stunning, stop you in your tracks, beautiful Burgundies. Gevrey-Chambertin is not for the faint of heart. I wouldn't start with Gevrey-Chambertin if you're just getting into Burgundies. However, if you are a collector or you are experienced in Burgundies, any of her Gevrey-Chambertins are worth drinking now. Her entry level, they are pricey, about $60 to $70, but much worth seeking out. The other woman is Topino. She is in Maurice Saint-Denis. Maurice Saint-Denis is more of an elegant style. It's more of a female style. Gevrey-Chambertin is what the French will call a masculine style. Put hair on your chest. The Maurice Saint-Denis, I think, is appropriate for anyone who wants to start drinking their more elevated styles. Veronique Topino has family vineyard. Many times you're going to see now that the women are becoming involved in producing wines also. Historically, it was just the sons. You will see on the name, you'll say Domaine Topino Père et Fils. Fils is F-I-L-S. It's generic for male or female, but that means the children are involved. Historically, as I said, it was just the sons who were involved. The women now are more educated. They are going to school to learn how to produce wine, but they lend a gentler style to French winemaking in the Burgundies. That's another one to look out for, Veronique Topineau. And lastly is Drouin Boss, Veronique Drouin Boss, Boss. Drouin is super famous, been around for centuries in Burgundy. She's also producing, which I think is really cool. She's also producing Burgundy style wines in the Willamette. So Drouin Boss is very important to look at also as far as female vintners. In conclusion, find ways to laugh more in your life. I could not find a video on Rich Boggs. It is so worth, though, if you can attend Dream Builder, and that's going to be in my podcast in order to sign up for Dream Builder. It's at the end of January. Both these guys present their transformational videos, and they're really funny, and they really teach us dramatic lessons. Kundalini yoga for children, so important to bring them back to their childness, their silliness, and let them realize that laughing and having fun is still a very important part of their life, even during the pandemic. Seek out these women producers. I'll have the links to their vineyards in my YouTube channel. Please support me as a creative artist. I have this now as my new career. I'm no longer selling wine after 26 years. I no longer have my French themed bed and breakfast. And this is my new, really lovely career. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a life consultant. I produce this podcast, this YouTube channel, once a week to help people globally and improve their lives in less than 10 minutes. Merci.